Meet Felicia Collins, a 23-year-old who hails from Port Kaituma, Region 1.
So I recently completed my bachelor's in Trinidad at the University of the West Indies, where I did a bachelor's in biology, specializing in marine biology and environmental biology and ecology.
Passionate about her field of studies, Felicia contacted the Guyana Marine Conservation Society with hopes of becoming a volunteer.
So in 2019, while I was still a student at UE, I saw some of the work that they had been doing, and I sent my email to Ms. Arjun, who is the president, and she contacted me when I was home for vacation in the summer, and she asked me if I would be interested in doing some work with a team that they were sending into Region 1. And I said, yes, of course. Well, that's my home, and I would love to visit the communities that they were visiting I've never been to.
When Felicia returned home upon completion of her studies, she joined Annette and her team full-time.
Now that I'm back, I've developed an interest for community development and also conservation. So while I am here now, I'm currently volunteering with or working with the Guyana Marine Conservation Society, where I am currently the project manager of our research, the Barima-Mora Passage mammal survey that's going on.
This budding marine biologist got the opportunity of a lifetime, embarking on a project of her own.
And what we're basically doing is we're setting up some camera traps within the Barima-Mora Passage area. This area is about roughly around 500 square kilometers big, and we've decided to set 30 camera traps within the research area. So we went to Mabaruma in February last month, and we set the 30 camera traps.
But how does a camera trap work?
It's a camera, and it's in a little box, and you have the different settings. If you want to take videos or you want to record, it gives you that feature to do different things. So you basically set it up on a tree about knee-length height to catch the animals when they're walking by. It's in an area where you could see animal track or like a passage, so that when the animal passes, it's motion sensing also. So when something passes, it would trigger that motion sensor and it would take 3 pictures automatically. So that's basically how the camera trap works. So when we went into the fields, we had to look for an area where we saw a lot of animal activities, where we saw prints, we saw drop-ins and that kind of thing. Clear up the area a bit, set the camera traps.
This young scientist also works with members of the community and has done training so that others can be involved in this magnificent project.
So we decided to involve 5 young persons who were interested in conservation, in wildlife and that kind of thing in the project. So we trained them how to set up the camera traps, how to use the GPS, and just how to go about in the field doing what researchers would do.
The main goal of this research is to provide a preliminary assessment to UNESCO, which would support the Barima-Mora Passage as a World Heritage Site.
There are jaguars in the area, there are agoutis, there are so many different animals, but there has never been any kind of scientific research done in this area before to verify, okay, yes, there are so many animals happening here, doing this, you know, how are they being affected, all of these things we don't know. So what this research is going to be doing is providing that baseline research so that we can monitor these mammals populations over time.
The team will conclude their research in May, retrieving the camera traps and reviewing their findings.
So far, we set about 2 cameras for the day, and it's almost half day. So, well, it's been a great experience doing this. It's a great one. I've never done it, set camera traps to catch animals, so it's a great experience.
Kudos to this young marine biologist and her exciting project. Felicia has a few words of advice for potential biologists as herself, who may be eager to explore a field such as marine biology, or even spearhead a significant project such as this one.
When people think of marine biology, and I say this all the time, every time, when you think of marine biology, you think of the blue pristine waters and the coral reefs and, diving and snorkeling and all these fancy things that we can't afford to do in Guyana because of our waters. Young people like myself and others who are knowledgeable about these things, knowledgeable about the marine environment, like it's kind of up to us now to inform the younger folks coming up, this is a career, this is something that you can pursue, it's profitable, and it's like kind of our job to bridge that gap between the technical stuff, the really technical stuff, and just put it in like layman terms so that the average person can understand it, because that's one of the biggest problems that we have in our scientific community. We aren't able to properly communicate what we're doing. You're doing some fancy technical stuff, but how does the average person understand that and recognize its importance?